Good evening, dear viewers. Our guest today is a co-founder of a traveling company and a traveler. Today we're going to ask him about his experience and what inspired him to start his traveling journey and company. How are you doing today, Mr. Faris?
Doing well, thank you. And yourself?
I'm doing great, thank you. Can you tell us more about your traveling experience and what inspired you to travel?
I would say that my traveling experience is something that I was born into. Growing up, I lived abroad for most of my life. And the travels took me to Turkey, Morocco and Tunisia and the UK 3 times for a total of approximately 17 years. So it was a lifestyle that I grew up with. And so I absorbed it and I guess translated it into something where I work today.
And can you tell us more about how many countries and what kind of countries did you travel to?
I've been to a total of 56 countries. The last new country that I visited was Argentina, which was in July. And there's no real criteria for choosing a country. You just have to research it properly and see that it matches the interests that you're looking for.
And what kind of new destinations do you have for this year and the next year?
This year we have a number of new destinations, not just for my company, but even for myself personally. We'll be visiting Algeria, Armenia, Uzbekistan, and later on we've also got trips to Panama and Vietnam.
Do you have any favorite country or like any favorite country in a specific region, or do you like just traveling in general?
It's really hard to say or to choose a specific country as a favorite because that all boils down to personal taste, even your mindset at the time. There are countries that I would like to repeat over and over again, more than others probably, such as Japan, and we're waiting for the borders to open. So I guess because it's been off limits for such a long period, then that's the country that comes to mind.
And like, do you prefer the Japanese culture or food, or just because it's off limits? Or?
No, it's not a question of it being off limits, which is why I prefer it. I was fortunate to visit it 3 times, and each time was equally amazing and interesting. What I like about Japan is that it's got 2 parallel cultures running at the same time, the traditional and the ultra-modern. The ultra-modern has not replaced the traditional, and they coexist side by side, which I think makes it really fascinating.
That's amazing. Can you tell us about how do you organize your travel trips? Like, based on what criteria do you choose your guests?
Well, those are 2 different things. When I organize the trip itself, we go through a long period of research where we research the country itself, the places which are worth visiting, what activities we can actually take part in. Definitely we take into consideration things such as the weather, safety, and then we go into the process of selecting the guides, which is one of the most important elements in our trip. It's important to have a local guide because no matter how much I research or read about a country, I will never have the same local insight as a licensed guide would. A licensed guide will also have to go through a number of tests in order to earn his or her qualifications, and that's not something that anybody can do. After that, we go through the process of editing the program so that it fits within a reasonable number of days. And then we start advertising the trip. The only real criteria we have for our groups is that we take small groups, so 3 to 8 people, and everybody has to be above the age of 18 years old. And they should be okay in going on a trip with, on a mixed trip, so men and women. Those are really our criteria.
And what type of people usually book your trips? Like what age group and gender?
Our trips are open to everyone. In general, what we've noticed is a pattern where the majority of travelers that have joined us have been female, and they've been within the ages of, let's say, 30 to 55. We've had people who are older, we've had people who are younger, but that's just generally the customer profile that's attracted to us, I guess.
Dear viewers, that was the end of our interview with our great guest, Faris. Hope you enjoyed it. Have fun and stay safe.